We tell young people today, drop out of school, because schools, education today, is the worst narcotic drug of all. Don't politic, don't vote. These are old men's games, impotent and senile old men that want to put you onto their old chess games of war and power. Drop out. Tune in with natural things. Take off your shoes. Get back in tune with God's harmony. Surround yourself with beauty and sacred objects. You can't get caught in the conforming, rote lockstep, which we call American society. This record is a message to young people, to people under the age of 25, and certainly to people under the age of 40. If you're over the age of 40, I'm not sure that you should listen to this record. What I'm going to say might make you mad. I don't like to get people mad. I particularly don't like to get people over the age of 40 mad, because these are the people who have guns and handcuffs and prisons, a wide variety of instruments of metal with which they punish people who get them mad. Young people, for the most part, aren't so concerned with control or power. They're much more involved in having fun, being curious, exploring their sensual equipment, making adventurous explorations, making love, trying to learn what it's all about. I have personal experience which has taught me how fierce people over 40 can be for those who challenge their beliefs. Down in Texas, there are a group of men over 40 who got so mad at what I'm saying, they sentenced me to prison for 30 years. And up here in New York State, there are another group of men over 40 who want to put me in jail for another 16 years for saying the sort of things I'm going to say on this record. I'm cutting this tape on the 3rd floor of the Castelia Foundation in the middle of New York. The Castelia Foundation is a psychedelic center, a place for consciousness expansion, a spiritual retreat, a center for experimentation in the use of psychedelic or mind-opening drugs. As you would expect from a place designed to produce beautiful experiences, the Castelia Foundation is located in a beautiful spot. I can look down on acres of green lawn. Down there on the left, underneath the trees, I can see a meditation house, a one-room jewel box, where people go for a few days or a week at a time to live in silence, cut off from the pressure of the world. Turn on. Tune in to their inner possibilities. stately limbs. About 15 feet up in the tree is a treehouse, lashed with spider web roping. Beautiful elven girl with golden hair is living there this week. Beyond the tree is an apple orchard and an organic garden. Farther out around the house, meadows, sacred groves, pine forests, waterfall, brooks. The main house itself is 4 stories. It has slanting copper roofs. At different seasons and at different times of the day and night, lie on the green roofs and watch the sunrise or the sunset or the full moon come up over the eastern trees. There's a red chimney which runs 5 stories, facing south. And on the chimney are painted interwoven triangles with sealed solids, a sacred symbol found over every Vishnu temple in India. This is one of the oldest symbols in human history. Thousands of years of men have studied the expansions of consciousness, the meaning of the inner life, and use this symbol to indicate the merging of opposites to make the new, the merging of man and woman, of dark and light, of electron and proton, of winter and summer. The outdoors is set up for LSD sessions because the LSD experience is too powerful, too organic, too ancient to be contained within rooms and houses made by men. There are many shrines inside the great house. In fact, almost every room in the house is designed to produce a specific turn-on. There are several rooms specifically designed for the sensory enhancement, which is created by marijuana. Many of the rooms are designed for those sacred ceremonies, which can only occur between man and woman, seeking to deepen or enrich their communion. And there are other rooms designed to produce the psychedelic experience by the use of light, color, and sound. I belong to an ancient trade union of center with the taking of LSD. On any day, 1/3 of the people present will be sitting on the beach or crowded around a table on the open dining patio, planning the session that they were going to have that night. While another third would be hidden in the session room, wondering far down on the sand, in the middle of an LSD session. And another third would be clustered, awed, in dazed groups, recording on and recording the session they just finished. There's a lot of rain in the Mexican summer, and almost every afternoon, late, and every evening, a brief thunderstorm pass over the bay. Lightning would crackle down. The beach, the ocean, and surrounding hills would flash into lightning view. The night sessions would usually end in the water as the LSD voyagers float out and watch the first rays of the sunrise. In addition to being a sensory paradise and a spiritual oasis, the center in Mexico was productive and profitable. Scientific reports were written, articles published. The center paid its own way. But eventually, this gentle and harmonious way of life came to the attention of the police, a group of people who were not especially dedicated to growth, pleasure, and spiritual discovery. The center was closed, and the group dispersed. There's one interesting sidelight on the deportation proceedings. Of the 3 Secret Service agents from Mexico City closed the center, one was under 30 years old. I got to know him fairly well because he was intensely curious about what we were doing and what we were experiencing. He had a Cuban girlfriend and used to smoke marijuana with her. He also had a brother who was the governor of another state in Mexico. And after checking our books and interviewing our members, he took me aside and said, "Senor Leary, you have going here the greatest gold mine that the tourist business has ever seen. All of your guests feel that you are not charging enough money, and none of them ever want to leave your hotel. Come to my brother's state, and we will find a hotel, and let me be your partner." That was our summer of pilgrim wandering. We wandered from from Mexico down to the Caribbean, the French islands, the British islands, looking for 1 square mile of ground on this planet where we could live quietly, expand our own consciousness, contribute handsomely to the country in which we live. But such a place was not to be found, free from political or religious interruption. If today I could find 1 square mile ground on this planet, there would be several 100,000 people who would be willing and eager to join our exploration. But no such place seems to exist. For the first time in human history, there seems to be no land of exile or immigration, where groups of people sharing unpopular spiritual beliefs and practices can remove to live in peace. Our own country, remember, was founded by exactly such values of religious exile. Why is it that every generation forgets this lesson of the past? Why is it that each generation harasses, persecutes its gentlest, wisest, and holiest men, exactly those men and succeeding generations that revere? The answer to this question has nothing to do with intelligence, or social prejudice, or conservatism. The answer is neurological. The nervous system of the adult human being is so set up that it registers intense neurological pain confronted with an idea or method which liberates man from his addiction to sin, from his addiction to the current tribal single system. Early in the life of every mammal, in the first few days, as a matter of fact, the nervous system focuses on a nearby object that moves and makes noise. And around this imprinted object, the conditioned single system comprises the discriminating, perceiving, and executing mind. Most human beings, in the early days of their life, have imprinted a moving, noise-making event which they call mother. And upon this imprint, they base their perception of what is right and real and true. Almost everyone is painfully afraid of displeasing mother, is painfully shocked by confronting an idea or method which can liberate consciousness from the original printed chessboard. President Eisenhower ran this country in such a way as to avoid displeasing his mother. He ran a small town store in Iowa. President Johnson maps out national and international policies designed to please his mother. Defense Secretary Michael Mara Mother is afraid of grandmother. And grandmother imprinted her chessboard of values and realities about 100 years ago. Now here we come to my problem as a spiritual teacher in 1966. I can turn you, the younger generation, on to your own spiritual potentialities. But if I do so, I get in trouble with your parents. But that's not completely hopeless, because I can also teach you how to turn on your parents and gently and lovingly open them up to some of their possibilities. But the hitch here is that your parents are imprinted on grandmother, and grandmother is dead, and I can't turn her on. About 6 years ago, after my first series of psychedelic sessions, I realized that it was within my power to select and play almost any game, or even to deal myself out of games internally. I decided at that time the game I wanted to play was to become the holiest and wisest man of my generation. Specifically, to expand and elevate the consciousness of the entire human race. Now this may sound like a surprising ambition, but I don't see why. If you can select any game, why not pick the most exciting and challenging game around? With full knowledge, of course, the knowledge that comes from a contemplative series of LSD sessions, that all human games end in a tie, and that the chances of succeeding in any human game are always statistically dubious. After 6 years of trying to become the holiest and wisest man of my generation, I'm ready to make a progress report. The way it looks from here, I have about 1 chance in 10 of reaching my goal. It still looks like a good gamble to me. In the last 6 years, we have witnessed an astonishing expansion and elevation of human consciousness in this country, and an equally predictable reaction of panic and anguish against this psychedelic revolution. When we started researching the use and benefits of psychedelic drugs at Harvard 6 years ago, we ran into a puzzling situation. We discovered very early in the game that we could predict the reaction of anyone we talked to about LSD by knowing one thing about the other person, and that was his age. The competent and distinguished psychologists and philosophers at Harvard, exactly those men whom you would expect would be most entranced and delighted at a new tool for studying consciousness, responded with boredom, patience, and irritation at our reports about the psychedelic experience. The graduate students were interested and eager to do research in this new field. The undergraduates were enthusiastic and unstoppable in their search for this experience. And what was most shocking and dangerous to my safety and tenure at Harvard was the fact that high school kids were the most interested of all. We thought about this situation for some time and then reached the obvious solutions. Of course, what we were running into was the oldest law in the history of human knowledge. It always takes one generation for a new idea to become accepted. The imprinted symbol systems of the older generation cannot tolerate and indeed shriek with neurological pain at any idea, method, that promises to change the game. Since we had no desire to cause pain, we redirected our communication and deliberately chose to beam our message to the younger generation. In the imprinted symbol systems, mother, and anyone over the age of 40, the word drug means two things: drug, doctor, disease, or drug, dope fiend, crime. No amount of reason, logic, or experimental evidence is going to change this deeply conditioned reflex. On the other hand, to people under the age of 25, the word drug means a wide variety of possibilities. Drug can mean fun, energy to study for a test, ecstasy, enjoyment of music, enhancement of the senses, religious revelation, expansion of consciousness, acceleration of learning. For the last few months, I've been lecturing to audiences about the psychochemical revolution. I've pointed out that almost every neurological laboratory in the country is working with some chemical which can accelerate learning, expand consciousness, enhance memory, increase creativity. I tell these audiences that in the future, the question will be asked, not what book do you read, but which molecules are you using in your learning process. As I make these predictions, I watch the face of the audience. I see the men over 40 frown, amazement and irritation. Is this fool suggesting that our college students become dope addicts? And I watch the faces of the young people saying, sure, where can we get it? When do we start? Any pioneer in the field of knowledge must, if he's going to retain his sanity and good humor, remember the lesson of history. It takes one generation for a new breakthrough to become absorbed in you. The undergraduate students and psychiatric residents who were working on our project 6 years ago have now moved up to positions of responsibility in the universities and clinics. The undergraduates are now just about ready to take over. And the high school students 6 years ago are now graduate students. The next 6 years will be a period of dramatic change adepts turn on before they go to a museum or to a flower garden. Why musicians have for many years used cannabis as an enhancer of their auditory sensibilities and their musical creativity. It is also well known that marijuana enlivens the senses of taste, touch, and smell. Let's mention food to the novice smoking marijuana. Suddenly discovers his ravenous memory of food has more taste and quite something before. Of course, alcohol, of course, is a drug which leads to sexual excesses. It is well known that alcohol is the easiest instrument for seducing a woman. You load her up and roll her over. But the problem with alcohol as a sexual instrument is that the morning after, either you or she remembers much about what happened the night before. And that may be merciful, because what you would remember is a crude, evil, spontaneous sexual encounter, which is best forgotten. By contrast, the sexual union under marijuana is a slow, rhythmic, mythic, highly ceremonial, unfolding, and uniform. I would say that very few of the millions of Americans who smoke marijuana know how to use this delicate and subtle instrument. Most marijuana is smoked in highly stylized cult situations, which fail to take into account the sensory and intimate nature of the experience. I predict in the next 10 years, we will see dozens of manuals outlining methods of harmonizing the intersection of external energy and sensory by the use of marijuana. But the training and sensitivity required for the use of marijuana is nothing. Knowledge and preparation required for the harmonious use of the strongest psychedelic drugs, such as LSD. All the methods of conscious expansion, education, and spiritual growth developed by man for the last 4,000 years, most demanding, most challenging, is LSD. LSD is the single drugs like Lesson number 2 is tune in. Begin to harness the energies which you are releasing into a harmonious exchange with the external environment. Take LSD and look at your house. You will see, as someone from another planet would see, that you are living in the home of an insane robot. Slowly and planfully, you begin to change your house so that it becomes an external representation of the beauties you were discovering within yourself. As you continue to listen to the wisdom of yourselves and to the direct energy explosions on your nerve endings, you will find yourself systematically altering where you live, and with whom you spend your time, and what you allow to contact your nerve endings. You will find yourself moving out of stereotyped routines vast regions, forests, meadows, farmland, which can be rented or bought. As the insane society of adults around you rushes to enslave itself to machines, you will find an increasing market for craftsman-like work, or for the production of articles which are too beautiful or too private to be made on mass assembly lines. If not in rebellion, drop out by tuning in. As you drop out, you will find that you do nothing which is not an act of beauty. And this is how you will make your living. Because nothing made by a machine can please the sense organ of a human being, or can make sense to the cellular wisdom inside a human being. Every time in the last few weeks that I have repeated this method, turn on, tune in, and drop out, I have been deceived by entreaties from my middle-aged friends. You can't say that, they tell me. What I am saying is not reckless advice. It happens to be the oldest method of human wisdom. Look within, find your own living, detach yourself from social and material struggle. What is reckless is the American education system today, which puts young people on a mass assembly line geared to produce robots. American education does neurological damage. The schools and colleges of this country are designed and supported by parents who wish their children to become like them, which means like grandmother. One final word to the young people who listen to this record. Be cool. Remember, overt rebellion is part of the game. Be cool. Evolution is a silent, invisible process. When the first young amphibians began to slither out of the water, they didn't print manifestos or join picket lines. They did it in small, private, loving groups. The wisdom of your cells will tell you that the work of evolution does not involve political action. Remember, too, to be kind. Do not frighten your parents unnecessarily. Turn on your parents. I don't mean drop LSD sugar cubes in their coffee cups. Start turning them on at the first level of the psychedelic hierarchy. Turn them on sensually. You see your mother as a symbolic creature, which is actually a bundle of millions and millions of sense organs, sensory cells. However symbol-addicted mother may be, she's basically a living organism with billions of neural cameras tuned to external energy. Don't use symbols to frighten her. Don't upset her symbol system. Go to visit her and delight her sense of smell with a flower. Delight her sense of taste with a new food. Delight her sense of sound with rhythm.